Here is a guide to every new trait giving or in the forge. Brace yourselves because we are breezing through it.
Starting off with the ores from the Frostspire Expanse. Either it is a rare or from the Frostspire Expanse in the peak with a 3.4x multiplier and a trait of giving 5% swiftness on armor. Frost Fossil is an epic ore from the Frostspire Expanse with a 4.5x multiplier and a trait of 17.5% lethality but negative 5% swiftness on armor and weapons. Belcher ore is a legendary ore from the Frostspire Expanse with a 5.5x multiplier and a trait of giving 20% extra movement speed on armor. Sanctus is a legendary ore found in the Frostspire Expanse in the peak with a 6x multiplier and a trait of giving 18% more stamina on armor. Snow White ore is a legendary ore found in the Frostspire Expanse in the peak with an 8.5x multiplier and a trait of giving a 30% chance of debuffing enemies for 3 seconds with 15% less attack speed and movement speed on weapons. Icyite is a mythical ore found in the Frostspire Expanse in the peak with a 10.5x multiplier and a trait of having a 25% chance to freeze enemies for 2 seconds with a 12-second cooldown on weapons. Now let's dive into the ores from the peak. Crimsonite ore is an epic ore with an 8.5x multiplier and a trait of giving 20% more physical damage on weapons. Malachite ore is an epic ore with an 8.8x multiplier and a trait of giving a 33% chance to inflict poison onto your enemies, dealing 10% of your weapons damage per second for 3 seconds on weapons. Voidstar ore is a legendary ore with a 10x multiplier and a trait of giving 33% more critical hit chance and 15% critical hit damage at the cost of negative 15% of your max health on weapons. Etherealite ore is a mythical ore with an 11.1x multiplier and a trait of giving 35% extra defense on armor. Suryafall ore is a relic rarity ore with a 15x multiplier and no trait. Heapknight is a divine ore with a 20x multiplier and a trait of dealing smite, which is 30% of weapon damage with a 50% chance on hit on weapons. Gargantuan ore, which is a divine ore with a 25x multiplier and a trait of giving a 30% chance on hit to deal 20% of weapon damage per second for 2 seconds and a 35% chance of dealing 50% of your weapons damage as area damage on weapons. And finally Mosasaurus, which is an exotic ore found in the lake next to the prismatic pickaxe, has a 7x multiplier and a trait of giving 35% extra defense and 5% extra movement speed on armor.